yoga is something that you've never tried, or you want to try it out to see if it works for your body, to know that you have the resources to do that. So on the handout that I provided, on one side it's a list of the different types of yoga that you commonly see in the community. So there are different branches of yoga, some more intense than others. Okay, so on that form I've briefly described each one of them, and I wanted to make sure that if you're looking for something more gentle, oftentimes it's called gentle or yin yoga, which is a more kind of like a relaxation type of yoga where you hold the poses for a little bit longer, you ease into it. And so for an hour session, you may go through like 8 different poses. Okay, that's one type of yoga. It's a little bit more adaptable. They use a lot of props to keep your body supported. So that is probably one of the more gentle versions of yoga that are available. Iyengar is very much focused on alignment, and like a lot of the other classes, it depends on the class level. Some classes, at the entry level are very adaptive. The teachers go through a lot of the details of where your foot should be, where your spine should be, uses props to help you get there. Other higher level classes are very intense, okay? So there's variability in that. And as you go down the list, the general form of yoga gets a little bit more challenging and more heated and more fast-paced and flows through more movements. So if you're looking at, say, YogaWorks or just any yoga studio around your home area that you're interested in exploring, it's good to kind of use this as a guide, but also look at their class descriptions. Okay. Now, in the very bottom, I did write in a little asterisk yoga therapy. I'm sure probably many of you guys have heard about it. It is an emerging field. Okay, it's kind of like an emerging specialization of yoga, where if the instructors are interested in being able to learn more on how to adapt yoga to meet like different physical or emotional or cognitive needs, that right now there are training programs that allow certified yoga instructors to learn more in that respect. And so when you go onto a studio's website and you see yoga therapy, and some of them have certifications, that means that they've actively gone through the process of trying to make yoga essentially more adaptable and maybe accessible for people of various levels. And oftentimes yoga therapy can be more individualized. It's delivered in a more individualized setting versus in the mainstream group classes. Okay. But one thing to note is that there isn't a standardization for training for yoga therapists at this point in time. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. There are yoga therapists out there who are great, who really know their work, who have had a lot of experience adapting yoga for different populations. There, just as anything else, there are ones who are less knowledgeable. So when you go out there and explore, it's really important, I think, 2 things. Find somebody who you can communicate with ease, who listens to your feedback, because ultimately you are the expert of your body. Nobody else is. Not your physical therapist, not your neurologist. Nobody knows your body better than you do. Okay, so being able to find somebody who can hear what you're telling them and integrate it into the program is crucial, is absolutely crucial to prevent injuries, but for also creating a safe environment where you feel comfortable practicing. Okay? And then the second thing to look for in terms of finding a yoga instructor is accessibility. Okay? Being able to find somebody who, realistically, in terms of any exercise program, I think for all of us, if it's far away, it's not going to happen, right? At least that's how it works for me. So figuring out a location, and I've provided some resources. A lot of them are on the west side. It's just the nature of how things develop around the LA area. But being able to, there's a lot of resources back there. There are a couple of yoga instructors there in the resource that actually personally have conditions that require yoga adaptation. So Eric Small, for example, has MS, and so he's developed a program not just targeting MS, but really for individuals with different physical conditions to participate at the chair level, on the mat, just really being able to adapt that. And then on there's also reactive. I teach here every Saturday. We go through different modules, and we adapt again with chairs, with props, depending on the group's level. They are group classes, but also we do offer individualized sessions here. And then there are also other resources that I went online and I emailed these people to get a more extensive info, because many people have specific experiences with like adapting the yoga. Some for more people who have like emotional trauma, some for more people who have physical limitations. And so I think the best way to go is just go out there, connect with these people, experience it. Listen to your body, because it's not just about how you feel during class, it actually is about how you feel afterwards. Are you experiencing a lot of pain? Did you overstretch? Are you experiencing any muscle pain? Those are all indications that will lead you to, you want to give your instructor the feedback, but also, is this appropriate for my body? Okay, so making those good decisions and taking the time to reflect on your experience, I think is really going to help you find what works for you. Okay, so any questions for me thus far? There's actually a microphone here that I think you can. Well, I think the video needs to record it. So.
Oh, okay. I was doing yoga through a gym.
Okay.
And the yoga instructor said that I went 2 times a week.
Okay.
She said that was worse than not at all.
Why?
I don't know. It just baffled the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting comment.
Did you say that you were supposed to do it more?
3 times.
Oh.
At least 3 times.
Oh, okay.
So you're seeking my comment on that? Well, yoga is just very individualized. There are definitely certain lineages, or like Ashtanga. You're supposed to practice it 6 days a week. That's how they encourage. That's the type of practice they encourage. So, to kind of define it so rigidly, I think is challenging. Everybody has a different lifestyle. Everybody's body is different. So, taking that into consideration, you are the best judge of how many times works for you, okay? And also, you may be doing other stuff. They say everything in moderation, right? Taking any one thing to the extreme, is that gonna do any of us any good? Right? So, I'd say you're the best judge.
It was a little problematic because Fridays the gym's always close early, and I was going 9 o'clock classes.
Yeah. So there's the accessibility issue, right?
I have a question.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you. I've been taking yoga for the last 10 years.
Okay.
Hatha yoga.
Hatha yoga.
And I've been through a couple of different instructors,
Mm-hmm.
and you said today to inhale and exhale through your mouth. I used to, with another instructor, exhale within your body, inside within your chest. What's the difference? I could never. What's the best way?
Okay. What's the best way to breathe? Oh, I don't think I need 2 microphones. So in yoga, there's actually many different types of breath work, okay? And the couple times that we've consciously inhaled through our nose and exhaled through our mouth today, that's a type of cleansing breath where you're actually trying to like release some of the tension, release some of the negative energy that You know, we really all hold in one way or another, okay? But there are so many different types of breath work that I think it really depends on individual preference and what works for you. Many times when I teach yoga here, because it's hard, everybody breathes at a different rate. It's not always going to be on my count. So my encouragement is to make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're not holding your breath, okay? And that way, there's the movement of breath as you move your body, okay? And that's kind of the joining of life forces together.
So it's
Yeah.
very individual then.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing
Thank you.
so much with me today.